Okay, so here's that tension switch code that we agreed we would use. Real quick, I changed the 2.7 threshold to 2.8. I guess different batteries give me kind of a different reading. The transmitter's off. The signal we want for this demonstration is going to be coming from the tension switches. Okay, so I have the tension switch wide up and going into AO and A1. With no tension, it's showing 2.9. And actually, I'll explain later, but the receiver's actually off right now. And pin 13 is going to be our simulated relay for this demonstration. It is off right now, which is what we want. So we're riding along, or the jet ski's running and all is good, and we start taking off. Right now our tension went down to 2.6. I moved it because it was a little close, but it seems to be okay. And then we fall off, perfect world, it just goes flatline, and the relay turns on, turning off the jet ski. Now, I don't think you need to recycle it to show again, so okay. Oh, I guess I don't know how you would do that. I'm just thinking of in the water, you're not going to pull tension without it running, so that essentially we need to find a way to recycle the that kill by turning off the transmitter. When you fall off, normally you pull a clip, which sends a signal to shut down, and then turns off the transmitter slightly after that. There's a timer delay, and that's a failsafe for the failsafe in this to shut it down as well. This is really confusing. Okay, so the light is on, which means it's set to kill. Oh, you have to also, it's receiving power from the receiver there. So let's recycle it, and we will power on. I believe the tension part of it, they actually did get to work. Tension's on, and we're cruising around, and we fall off, and the handle is flopping in the water. Handle flopping in the water. And there it goes finally. So I guess when I slowed down, it went. Now here's the interesting part. It would be nice if we had those parameters, the 2.7 or the 2.8, which it is now, the time for the spike, and I believe the time for the 2 seconds when you fall off at the top, so we can easily adjust those. Interesting enough, when you turn on the the light's on. Let's recycle this. Okay. I'm going to pause it right now and let it sit for a second. Okay, so it's been sitting for a few seconds with the tension on, lights off, and we're cruising. Now, if you happen to get a PWM signal, when that light turns on, it will indicate a reception. The light turns on and flashes. That's backwards, because it should turn off when you lose the PWM signal. So when I put tension on, it flashes. When I put tension off, it stays on. So I'll recycle it one time and show you the way that it should work, but it's not. Let's turn off the receiver, turn off the Uno, turn on the Uno, turn on the receiver. PWM signal is coming out of the receiver. Oh, maybe not. Okay, there's a PWM signal coming out of the receiver at this point, and the light is flashing. Okay, I just plugged everything in. If you don't plug it in the right order, the light just starts flashing. So now the light's off, which in this scenario is allowing us to start the engine. When we turn off the signal, nothing happens. It's only when you turn on the signal that nothing happens as well. Oh, there it goes. Just turned on. So there's that. It's flashing. So it's on pin 13. The digital switches, they don't do anything ever. They don't seem to work. I don't know if I'm sending the right signal from my receiver to them. No, the whatever it is, 1000 to 2000 or 0 to 1023. I don't know what my throws are coming out of there. If you have a code that I can easily test that with, I'd be glad to do that if you need that. The sample one that I showed you, it works pretty well. It just says if it's under 15, do this, else do the other.